All right, in this video, I'm going to show you a few different financial calculators that I made recently. So let's get started. So this was a property that I was looking at potentially buying. It is a 5-unit rental. There's two-bedroom apartments, two one-bedroom apartments, and a studio. And the asking price is 495K. So this is a tool that I made with Claude. It's an investment property analyzer. So we'll just run through real quick and fill it in. 495. Because it's an investment property, I probably do have to put 20% down. Closing costs, let's just say that that is 3%. And then let's just say that I want to put 20,000 into it when I get started. So what this tells me is that I would need 133,850 to get started with it. That's the actual investment I would have to make. I talked to the realtor. The current rents are 5,100. The annual property tax is 8,000. Insurance is 5,000. None of that. So maintenance reserve. This is the percent of the selling value that I put away each month in order to, cover roofs and hot water heaters. Typically, it's 1 to 2%. I'll leave it at 1% right now. I would manage this property on my own. There's actually a shortage of housing in my town right now, so I'm going to drop that down to 5%. But basically, this is a percentage of the monthly income that I put into a reserve to cover basically when it is empty. Right now, 7% interest rate is about accurate. It'd be a 30-year loan. And so with my down payment, I'm looking at 396 for the loan, which comes out to 2635. We'll keep annual appreciation at 30%, at 3%, sorry. My tax bracket is 25%. And let's just say that I can grow. I don't live in a extremely booming area, so let's just keep it conservative and say that the annual rent growth rate is 3%. Okay, so what this shows me is that today, monthly rent is 5,100. Value, the equity I have, monthly cash flow would be 715. That's the amount that would actually be coming to me per month from that. It does show you another breakdown further down of actual costs. But in year 10, because my loan is fixed, right? Because my loan is fixed and my rents are going up, after 10 years, I'll be bringing in about 6,800 a month in rent. The value of the property, this might be a little extreme, but the amount of the property would have increased to, the value of the property would have increased to 665. And then, monthly I'm bringing 1866. And Claude, it was nice that it did this, that it, broke that down then into amount per year. And that's what I would have left on the balance of my loan. 20 years in, I'm at 9,200, making 3,400 a month. Again, this is the value of my loan still. And then 30 years out, when I'm 73 years old, it would be paid off, but I'd be bringing in 66,000 a month. And I don't actually know if the value of the house would be 1.2 million. That does also seem high, but 30 years is also quite far distance away. So 30-year net wealth, 1.5 million. Total ROI, 1,000%. And then passive income at year 30 is 66K. So this just goes into more of the details for what would actually be going on today. Like I said, 715 a month. I'd be making 6.4% would be the annual return that I'm getting on that initial 133K that I put in. Cap rate, this is the property's return independent of financing. So it did, Claude did build in, some numbers. I did not pick those, so I don't actually know if they're good, but 6 to 8% is positive. This is a rule that I had heard of, basically that your rents should be at least 1% of the cost of the house that you're buying. So we're right there. We're actually above that 1%, which is good. So overall, the numbers on this property look like they're going to be pretty good. And just to see what it pulled down, right? Here's the mortgage payment. Here's the property tax, insurance, homeowners. This is that maintenance reserve, that 1%. If I bump that up a little bit, then that'll bring this down a little bit. And this is that 255, sort of going into another account. So overall, this is a nice, easy little tool. It helped me a lot. I'm going to compare this to, I have an uncle that's bought a bunch of properties and he sent me over an Excel sheet. I'm going to compare what this gave me to that. But the numbers on this all make sense. So the next thing that I'm going to show you is a few different financial calculators that I made. I had always been, this is what I did before. If you search for just investment calculator, right? This is the one that always shows up. And I've used this one a bunch of different times, right? It's not bad. It works fairly well. I think that they just monetize off of this ad thing here. I wish I should have been on Chrome so I could have done just to see how much traffic this gets. But I think it gets quite a bit of traffic. But this is what I was using, but I wanted to see if we could do a little bit better. So I had recently learned about this term called coast fire, which is the idea of figuring out how much you need to have saved up in your retirements in order to basically not need to contribute any more money. So currently I am 43. Let's just say that I was targeting 65 to retire. Let's be a little optimistic and say 10% annual return. We'll bump inflation up to 3%, right? And in my 401k, I do have 200k. I'm putting 1,300 a month into that, including my employer's match. I do have a brokerage account. This is actually right around there right now. And I am contributing an additional $800 a month into that account. So with that, we get this chart down here. What this is showing is 3 different scenarios. So scenario 1, the green bar, right, at 65 years old, if I keep contributing to my 401k for that whole time, and I keep contributing to my brokerage account, and I also keep making 10% returns, then I'll have about $5.3 million when I reach that retirement age of 65. The second scenario is one where I just keep putting into my brokerage account, putting into my retirement fund, and I stop adding money to my brokerage account. That brings me to 4.5. And then the third scenario is that I stop contributing at all, right? And I just let the power of interest grow my accounts, and that brings me to 3.3. So for me personally, I don't have a desire to spend a ton of money as I get older. This is actually perfect. I have kind of reached coast fire, especially if I just allow my continue to contribute to my retirements. But that then also means that I basically have $800 a month available that I've been putting into that brokerage account to potentially use for something else. And then it just shows it here. So this is good. This is another one, sort of same scenario, that coast fire idea. But I built this one in Claude. So let's see what this one comes with. Current age 43, retirement age. I like to target 4 million because there's the 4% rule, which basically says that you can withdraw 4% from your retirement funds or your investment accounts, and that basically allows your principal to stay alive and keep up with inflation, right? So that brings, you can actually put that rate in here. So I'm going to put that 4% in. We can then add additional income streams for this purposes. I'm going to keep it real simple. we'll use the same numbers. 401k currently have 200,000 in there. Monthly contributions 1,300. Annual rate, we'll bump that up to 10. I'm going to add another account, and we'll call that brokerage. And 178,000. Monthly contributions right now is 800, and then we'll put in 10 right there. This is nice. I built it a little bit differently than that one in ChatGPT, so you can just keep adding accounts, and you can actually keep adding income streams, right? So if I wanted to add in Social Security, or my wife has a pension that'll kick in at one point, we could add those in. So let's just say that I do add in one of those for Social Security. I don't actually know the amount, but I think that it would be somewhere around 3,000 a month, assuming it's still there, right? And then it starts kicking that in at age 65. Okay, so continue all is green. Stop all, we'll make that red. And then we'll add one more scenario. So stop all, I need to get rid of that. And I'm going to get rid of that. And then we're going to add one more scenario. Stop investment account. And we'll make that, we want it to be easy to see still, so we'll just make it purple. Maybe yellow or something. So what this is saying is that at age 63, I will actually reach that coast fire, which would be the 4 million if I continue all. And I would have a monthly income of 20,941, with 17,900 coming from my investment accounts, and then that 3,000 kicking in from Social Security. If I stop all, I will never actually reach the 4 million, but I'll get to a point where at 65, I'll have a monthly income of 14,268. And if I stop the investment account, I will hit Coast Fire, or hit that 4 million target at age 64, with a monthly income of 18,399. Same thing, very similar chart. I actually really like this Claude version a bit more than the ChatGPT one. And then the last one that I'll show you real quick is, this is one that I wasn't focused on Coast Fire. It's more like looking at what I could leave my kids. So let's just say that right now I have 378, right? 43. Let's just set my life expectancy to 80. Annual growth rate, we'll use 10%. I like being optimistic. Annual inflation, we'll say 3%. Additional monthly contributions, let's just say 2,000. And we'll stop contributing at age 65. This allows me to pull in additional retirement income sources, so we'll use that same 3,000. And we'll say that kicks in at 67. And we'll start there. And age, we'll just end that at 80 as well. Withdrawal plan, right? So start at 65, and we're going to take out 4%. This is kind of cool. I'll show you what I have first, but then I did set it up so that I could give my kids kind of money at different times throughout, right? So your generation, first annual portfolio withdrawal at 65, it'd be 218,000. This is doing it per year. Projected monthly retirement income 18,000 per month. Total real today, so with inflation, that's the equivalent of 9,400. Sort of regular life still. Nothing from Social Security at that point. But at the end, when I die at 80, if that is when I die, the kids would inherit about $11.8 million, and which is equal to about $4 million today. And then if my kids do the same thing, their kids will actually inherit more. So I was really trying to figure out how to, generate create generational wealth, right? But you can see it kind of here on the chart, letting it continue to grow. And this is actually my kids starting to take out that 4% too. I don't have any gifts in here right now, but let's just say that age at gift. So let's just say that I'm 43 right now. My kid's 15. So let's just say at 63, for example, I wanted to give my kid $100,000 to help buy a house, right? So we put that in, calculate the legacy. You can see that the numbers changed quite a bit. Not insane, but some. And then you can see kind of that dip that happens in here as well. You can see how this curve kind of does like that, a weird little flattening thing. So it doesn't have a huge impact, but it does definitely have an impact. And that is all I got for you today. Just a handful of different calculators. Mostly, this is all about learning how to play with the different AI tools, see how they go. So far, I like working in Claude the most, but for this problem in particular, like finance is a generally well understood topic that the AI seems to play really well with. I have checked these numbers and, they are doing the math correctly. All right. Thanks.